Welcome back to another edition of the Average Guy's Guide to Life podcast. I'm your host, Ara the Difference. Welcome back. Hope your week's going good. My week is going alright. Could be better. Started off the day kind of shitty. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you guys what the fuck happened to me this morning. When I'm getting ready to take care of my adult responsibility of going to work and arriving there on time. You know how that is. So, I call a Lyft to pick me up. I have more than enough time to get to work. My job is literally an 8-minute drive away from where I live. I schedule a Lyft to pick me up at 7. So with the arrival time in mind and the drive time, I had plenty of time to spare. The person that was arranged to pick me up, their name was Michael. And Michael drove a red sedan sort of vehicle. Young African-American male with a goatee. I'm like, cool, I got a little time. So I'm putting lotion on my ashy parts, putting some smell good on, making sure I look straight in the mirror, everything's all cropped and, in place. And I checked the GPS location on my phone. Okay, he's 3 minutes away. Let me put my fucking shoes on, get ready to walk out the door. Okay? Then I see the motherfucker turn around and start going the other direction. Now, if you've ever used one of those ride share applications, you know what I'm talking about. You get to see where they are in the route to come pick you up. And this motherfucker, when he was 3 minutes away, turned around and started going the other way. Okay, maybe he's lost. So the ETA from him picking me up turned from 3 minutes to 4 minutes. So I text him, hey, you're going the wrong way, fucko. I didn't put the fucko part in there, but I'm like, hey, you're going the wrong way. Gave him some time to see my text, look back at the application. That 4-minute ETA turned into 5. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm getting kind of close here, buddy. I gotta fucking make it to work. So I call. And you know when you call someone and you can tell that they picked up the phone and then immediately hung up on you? Is that the fucking train again? Why is the world against me? Fuck. Introducing the train, ladies and gentlemen. My recurring co-host is back. You would think I live right next to a train station. I swear to God I don't. Whatever God you believe in. Anyway. Anyway. So, this person picked up the phone and then immediately hung it back up. So, they were ignoring my pickup request on purpose. Although they accepted it on their little screen thingy, started driving in my direction, and trolled me, turned around, and started going the other way. So needless to say, I had to cancel that pickup, and the next closest pickup was 15 minutes away. And including the drive time to get to work, I was late. Now, how would you guys handle this situation? What would you do? Would you file a complaint with Lyft and hoping they would take care of the situation? Okay, that's one avenue. Would you just internalize it maybe vent to someone you're close to, rant a little bit, and then hope karma take care of the rest? Okay, that's another possibility. Me, I'm a little demented. Me, I'm a little extra. I know his name, I know his face, and I know his vehicle, and I know he drives for Lyft. Michael, if you're listening, I will find you, and I will kill you. Okay, I'm not going to kill him, but I'm definitely going to fuck him up. And if the courts hear this, and we're in trial presently, and you're using this as audio evidence for me beating the shit out of Michael, the Lyft driver, yeah, I did it. I did it. He deserved it. I accept the charges for whatever the assault is. I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to rearrange his face a little bit. So, Michael, when I see you, you catching it. Bruh, you getting it. Bitch ass motherfucker. Made me late for work. Anyway, how's your work week going? Stranger on the other side of this audio recording. How's your week going? Not fucking around too much, are you? Getting the business, taking care of shit, having fun a little bit. Middle of the week always seems to drag, but the back half of the week is like a slide. Just slide down that motherfucker. We almost there. Come on now. Put your work in. Know what I'm saying? I had a very interesting conversation recently, though. As in recently, I mean within the last day. And it wasn't a verbal conversation, it was a text conversation. I really hate having deep conversations via text. They can be misinterpreted. And you have to hear the inflections that people use. You have to hear just the way that they say things and how they're meant to be said. With just a blanket statement and you're reading it, you get to interpret it however you see it in your head. Unless you're so familiar with a person that you can hear their voice in your head when you're reading a text. Now that's different. But either way, I prefer to have serious conversations either on the phone or preferably in person, right? You can see people's facial expressions and gestures and movements and all that shit. But anyway, this conversation happened to take place via text, right? And I'm not going to mention who it was or why it happened. I'm just only going to mention the end result. And the end result was me departing from a situation and departing from people that I've known for over a decade because they did something fucking dumb. And they were participating in dumb behavior. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, you have to ask yourself, if you are close with someone for a very long time, what would it take for you, my listener? What would it take for you to up and leave a situation or abandon a relationship with a person you've been close with? What is that line? And if you don't have one, you're willing to look the other way for pretty much anything, what does that say about you as a person? Aren't you only as good as the company you keep? What is that like? Is there any reflection on your sense of morality, depending on what that person, he or she, participated in? For example, if you had a relative that was a known murderer, everybody knew that he went around shooting people, how would your relationship with that relative be? Could you just look the other way from this person that was out there killing people? Like in black families, that shit happen all the time. It happens all the time. You know, when you in a certain area in the inner city, you know that there's going to be gangs, and gangs result in violence, and violence leads to shooting, and shooting leads to killing. Okay. Can you just see that person for who they are in front of you and just omit everything that they do outside of you? Maybe. Maybe. Black families are kind of different. What if you like, okay, let's give another scenario here. What if you had a friend that you've known for a very long time, and you find out that they secretly have liked younger people. They wanted to engage in sexual uh, interactions with people who weren't of legal adult age. Would you still associate with this person? What's the line here? That's all I'm trying to get to. What is the line where you, as an individual, have to evaluate yourself along with the company you keep? Because they are a reflection of you, whether you like it or not. In this situation, two people that I have known for a very long time willingly assisted in another person cheating on their spouse who they was married to. And those two people had a sexual interaction with this one person who they knew was married, and they also knew wasn't mentally, I guess, stable. They weren't crazy, but they just were easily influenced and manipulated. So they manipulated this person into sleeping with them while knowing that that person was married. Despite my advice to not do that, and it's despite my warnings to what that would lead to, not only for that person, but for me having to cope with you being my friends and a reflection of me. You manipulated someone that you then had sex with who was married. Is there some sort of guilt that you should feel for doing that, firstly? And how would the person that has to witness this and advised you to not do it, how should they feel? What would you do, listener? I'm curious, because me, fuck that, I cut ties because I couldn't do that. Firstly, I'm not into the whole group sex shit. Like, that's just some weird shit to me. I don't want to see no other person's body parts, especially not a nigga. Nah, I don't care if we family. Yeah, I'm not close to nothing. Like, no, I'm not close to nobody like that. Like, can't nobody get that close to me to where I want to see your fucking dick and balls, sir. Sorry, not sorry, but get that fucking thing away from me. And I know, oh, you're not supposed to look, no. But you know it's there. Like, oh my God. No. Fucking no. Like, not only that, I'm not into group sex with two women either. Like, unless y'all just go lay there and let me, like, one at a time. Once y'all start fucking rubbing and licking on each other, nah, I'm fine. Like, that shit's just weird to me. Especially two straight women. Nah, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You like girls? Oh, you're just gonna put your face right in there, huh? Huh. You sure you don't like girls? You're experimenting, huh? It's interesting. Okay, I thought I knew you. Like, the fuck? No, I am extremely selfish in that way. And I guess I'm a bit of a lame according to 2020 standards. You know? I'm lame. I'm old fashioned. I like fucking one person at a time. Go figure. I'm going to be exiled and alienated because, only one person can fit in my bed at a time, and I also don't feel like swapping my dick around different holes in the same setting. Like, no. Anyway, I want to know what you guys would do with that. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with that? What the fuck are you supposed to do with that? Like, sex is treated like a fucking handshake nowadays. And this is gonna sound really old by me. Really old. But I think just the exposure that we have to sex and sexuality has desensitized us as a civilization, especially in America. From the moment that the internet boom happened and you could just Google whatever the fuck you wanted to see, all you had to do was turn off the fucking the prohibited content. Like, all you gotta do is unclick that shit, and then you just swimming in pussy ass and tits, or dicks and balls if that's what you're into. You're just swimming in it. And it's just like fucking violence. It's just like violence. It's just like video games. It's just like war and drugs. Anything that is in abundance today. We've just been so fucking desensitized to it. Like, sex today, it has basically become memes. Like, it's memeable sex culture. You see a fucking meme of someone giving fellatio to someone with some words on it, and you just like, yeah, it's just a meme. There's someone giving cunnilingus to someone, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a meme. I've seen a million of them. And to me, like, call me old fashioned, call me 1999, since that's old fashioned now. Call me 1999, but I think that shit's just distasteful, honestly. And I think sex needs to be, it should start having value to it again. It should. Unless you don't value your own body and you are only seeing sex as an exchange of enjoyment, then by all means, do your fucking thing, do it till you go crazy. Wrap your shit up, plug your shit up, don't spread diseases. Do your fucking thing. But to all those same people that are sharing those memes of the cunnilingus and the fellatios, those are the same people that will post something directly after that, I can't find no good nigga. And all pretty bitches cheat or some shit like that. It's like, well, you're sending mixed signals here. Like, your message is conflicting. What do you really mean? Are you openly sexual and you just enjoy fucking? Or do you want to fuck one person, but you want to appear that sexuality is, a handshake? Is that the appearance that you want to make? It's just unusual to me. Call me crazy. Shit, I am crazy. So call me me. Call me what I am. Call me counterculture. But it's unusual. And I think, I say a lot of crazy shit, but this is like some real shit. We are an oversexed society. If the videos of just take a corner of the internet, twerking videos, just one genre. If you take twerking videos alone, put them in a time capsule and send them back 20 years, fucking people would freak out. There would be, town hall meetings and gatherings in the auditoriums of every school across fucking America to try and prevent this from exploding. You would have mandatory meetings with school counselors. Parents would fucking monitor you because it would be an outrage. It would be outrageous. And quite frankly, it is outrageous. It's fucking outrageous. It's outrageous how desensitized we've become to this shit. It's crazy to me. Maybe it's just me. But then again, some parts of me, saying as though I am a young man, some parts of me can understand it. Some parts of me can even appreciate it. Some parts. It's like, I want a sexy woman. I think every man out there, every straight man, can admit, unless they have some sort of weird fucking kink, but every straight normal guy will say they want a sexy woman. They want a woman that knows how to be sexy, whatever that looks like to them, in their own way. But I think those same normal men that don't have weird kinks, they'll say they want a woman that knows how to be sexy privately. They want a woman that knows how to be sexy just for them and their own eyeballs, and not the eyeballs of the entire world. So I can see both sides. Like, yeah, would I like a woman that knows how to twerk? Sure. Bring that shit on. Make that shit clap. Let me see it jiggle wiggle. I like to be hypnotized by a good ass clapping. Looks like fun. But do I also want that same woman to be showing that jiggle wiggle to the world and other men? Something that I thought was sacred for my eyeballs only? No. Who the fuck wants that? It's like you basically getting a free show without the fucking. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about fucking it. Like, yeah, I want to fuck that. But they just don't get it. They get 50% of what I get. Why are you giving them 50% of what I get for free? Why the fuck are you doing that? Stop. Do I like a woman that knows how to give a good, fellatio? She wants to get filleted, or I want to get filleted or fished. Don't know what that means. But yeah, of course. I don't know a man that doesn't. It's not a requirement, but sure, why not? Let's do the fucking thing. But do I also want that woman to be posting pictures and videos of her sucking fucking bananas and pickles online? Giving 50% of what I give or what I get to the world for free? Or taking pictures constantly, sticking her tongue out? Or sucking her finger? No. I don't know any normal guy that wants that. But there is a corner of the internet with millions of fucking videos and content to what that is the thing. Twerkings and all sorts of sexual suggestive shit. All sorts of shit. Maybe I'm just a very specific kind of fella. Maybe. But I don't think I'm alone here. To where it's been normalized to the point where I just see a twerking video on my timeline and I'm just scrolling. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I don't think that should be the case. I think you should be like, what the fuck? Like early on in the internet, like I was around. But early on when social media and being able to talk to anyone, anywhere, when that became a thing, and then I first started noticing the influx of women taking pictures of their asses or in lingerie and started to twerk, I took time out of my day to message those people. Like back in my early teens and late teens, I would message them, and not in the way that they were expecting. I would message them like they're expecting to be hit on or complimented or, get a random picture of a erect dick. Like, no. I would message them like, why are you disrespecting yourself? Like, why are you doing this? Are you that starved for attention? What are you doing this for? Do you have a man? Are you in a relationship? How's your relationship with your father? How's your relationship with your parents? Are you in search of a man? If so, do you think that he would approve or like what you're doing? Fuck approve. Do you think he would stick around? Do you think that's going to attract the type of man that you want, or is that going to attract an erect dick picture? These are the type of questions I would ask back in those early days. But now that's considered trolling, you know? Now that's considered invasive. Now that's considered too much information, you know? Now it's an accepted thing in society that's what they're going to do. Like, there are literally people on Instagram right now as we speak in 2020, January 2020. There are people on Instagram that are making money and that are semi-internet famous for being attractive and taking pictures of their fucking asses or shaking their asses. They have legitimate careers where they make a decent living. Some of them make a very decent living. Like, what the fuck? What is the world we live in? What has become of us? I don't want to be here anymore, man. It's just weird. It's fucked up. We live in a fucked up world, man. Like, and the crazy thing is, we have porn everywhere. Fucking everywhere, right? So the fact that we have these very well paid Instagram people that are attractive and get paid large sums of money for taking pictures of their buttocks, whatever. They get paid lots of money for taking pictures of their backsides. And people love it. People heart that shit, like that shit, comment that shit, blow they fucking DMs up. But you have porn. If this is what you want, this is your avenue, this is your genre, this is what you want to see, just go watch some fucking porn. Watch people fucking. You'll get that same thing. You'll get that same dose of dopamine in your brain or whatever the fuck that you'll get from hearting that picture and sending that person a direct message that they'll never respond to. If you want to live in that fantasy world, go fucking live in the fantasy world hardcore. Live in the real fucking thing. You know? And that's a problem too. That's another problem. It's just too much access in general to pornography. Like, don't get me wrong. I indulge. I'm a straight, normal man. But I do think it's gotten to the point where that's a part of the problem. That's a part of what helped normalize this state of, everyone being over-sexualized. Like, Pornhub became a meme not too long ago. It became a fucking meme. Pornhub. A meme. Beating your dick. Beating your dick, fingering your twat. Became a meme, basically. Is there nothing sacred? Is there nothing sacred, people? Like, back on the porn thing, though. It's like, that only leads to, it leads to a lot of shit, especially for men. It leads to unrealistic expectations, weird kinks. Now you can't get off unless you do this. Now you expect every normal woman that's not a fucking double-jointed porn actress with a gigantic ass and, perfect everything. Like, now you expect normal women to live up to this, which isn't the case. And I guess the same can be said for women. Now you expect every man to be open to eating your ass from the back. Where, who the fuck does that? Like, why is that a thing? Like, not every man wants to taste your fucking ass. Not every man wants to taste the leftover residue from your shit, your literal fecal matter, or your literal fecal matter. No man wants to taste the after effects of that. I don't care how good you wipe. That's some nasty shit, It leads to problems, people. Unrealistic expectations on both ends. Women see a man with a horse dick and they expect every man to have a horse dick. Maybe they see a horse with a horse dick and now they can only get off by watching giant horse dicks. I mean, I'm black, I don't have that problem, but not everyone's black. You know, the stereotype's true, by the way. For the most part, there are some ungifted brothers out there. God, I feel sorry for you fellas, but you know, life goes on. You'll find the one. Keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. But fucking porn, man. Like, it's one of those things. It's just like um, any other vice. Just like drinking, just like smoking. You know, it's good in moderation, but you gotta fucking watch yourself, or it will become a problem. It will become a problem. And I don't want to see any of my friends or any of my loyal listeners out there trying to get fucked by a goat. I don't want to see it. And how do you even know if Tom Brady wants to fuck you? He has a wife. His wife's a model. I don't know if anybody got that. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully that wasn't too heavy. And hopefully you actually listened to me and took something away from my voice this time. You fucks. All right, have a good day. Goodbye.